Since leaving office, President George W. Bush has kept a low profile, except when it comes to one particular issue, helping the country's wounded veterans. This weekend, he'll be hosting the third annual Warrior Open in Irving, Texas, in honor of wounded service members. And I went to Texas Thursday to talk to the former president about his passion project.
So what's it going to be like? Oh, beautiful.
It's called the Warrior Open. And while it might look like just another golf tournament, it is, in fact, anything but.
Today's event is a testimony to people who've had the resolve and the desire to live life to the fullest.
To begin with, the tournament host is the 43rd President of the United States. And entry means not just that you're a member of the armed forces, but that you've been seriously injured in the war on terror during post-9/11 combat.
And the example of these folks out here today is an important example for our fellow citizens. You can either be defeated or defeat your injury. They all have chosen to defeat.
Come back for me. Good.
That is Captain Matt Anderson, 30 years old, an infantry platoon leader whose life took a drastic turn when he stepped on a landmine in Afghanistan.
What happened to me was that if you took a cue ball and you put it on a pool table and you smash it with a ball-peen hammer, try and put that back together and make it roll right.
Wow. After 3 years and nearly 30 surgeries and a constant lingering pain in his right foot, Anderson, an athlete in the truest sense of the word, nevertheless became a nearly scratch golfer. And now he spends his time teaching other wounded warriors as a therapy of sorts. Seems an interesting choice, too.
It's the hardest game out here.
Because you talk about people who are dealing with defeat and depression.
Yeah. But once they hit that one clean one that gets out there, you can see the little spark that gets in their eye, and they're like, let's go do this again.
Hey, let's get this thing started.
What does it mean to have the support of President Bush?
There's really no words you can put into it. It's to have the full backing by the Commander-in-Chief or former Commander-in-Chief in our world stage. This is what we shoot for. It's our little Super Bowl every year.
And for President Bush, that feeling is mutual.
You know, when you get off the big stage and really don't want to get back in the spotlight, which has been my attitude since the presidency, I'm still looking for ways to stay engaged with the people that made a huge difference in my life during the presidency. And our military personnel and the vets made a huge difference in my life, and I think in our country's life.
What do you want people to know about not just amputees, but people who've suffered these injuries defending the freedoms of this country?
We can do literally anything. It depends on the person and the personality. So these guys can literally do any single thing you put in front of them. They will do it well, they will do it with pride, and they're going to do it just as well as any other person on the planet.
You're talking to an amazing guy in Anderson. But every one of the people here who have said, I'm not going to allow my injury to get me down, and I want to live life, one way is to play golf. There's a great example of America's strength.
American strength, hailed by a former president who also spoke to me about life after the White House, including his health scare last month when he underwent surgery to have a stent inserted into an artery in his heart. How are you feeling right now?
Other than the fact I nearly bled to death when I nicked myself shaving because I'm taking blood thinner, I'm doing pretty good. I thought you were going to have to put a tourniquet on me when I got here. No, I'm doing fine.
And perhaps one of his greatest joys, the birth of his first grandchild, Mila.
Oh, I was captured, completely captured. And it's a joy to watch Jenna mother. It's a joy to watch Laura be a grandmother. And, you know, I was telling Laura the other day, I can't wait to be able to take Mila around the ranch and answer all her questions about the trees and the animals and the grasses. And
what's the difference between being a parent and a grandparent?
It's like a practice session in basketball versus a full court press. I mean, you can show up and love and then pass back.
Pass back.
Yeah.
Always pass back.
Yeah. It's a great experience.